Stop whatever you're doing because the internet just caught fire again. Love and Hip Hop's own Mendeecees Harris didn't just go live, he went nuclear. You thought this man got quietly fired over contracts and ratings? Think again. Because according to Mendeecees himself, and trust me, he said it straight-faced on Live, the truth behind his exit is so messy, so explosive, that even Mona Scott might be somewhere clutching her wig and refreshing Instagram in panic. We're talking betrayal, secret deals, NDAs breaking like cheap glass, and a rumor so wild that Yandi herself had to jump into the live like, wait, what are you doing? And just when he was about to spill the receipts, poof, the live mysteriously ended. Coincidence? Or did somebody in the producer group chat hit the red button marked, shut him up? Because if you think reality TV is real, oh baby, you've been living in 480p, so grab your popcorn, your burner account, and maybe even your lawyer. Because what Mendeecees just unleashed isn't gossip. It's a full-blown televised betrayal. Stay locked in, this story gets darker, dirtier, and way more love and hip-hop than VH1 ever intended. The live opened with a low hum in the background, the kind of uneasy quiet that comes right before a storm. And Mendeecees sat there staring straight into the camera, his eyes cold but steady, the glow of the screen reflecting off his face as thousands of viewers piled into the stream. For a few seconds, he didn't say a word, just scrolled through the comments that were flying by so fast they blurred together. People were asking what happened, if he really got fired, if it had to do with Yandi, or if he was about to expose the network. Then he finally looked up, took a slow breath, and said in a voice so calm it sent chills through the chat, "They didn't fire me, they silenced me." The words hit like a slap. Everyone froze, even the trolls who normally never stop typing. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees, eyes never leaving the camera, and said this wasn't about ratings or contracts or any of the rumors they had been spreading online. This was about control. They wanted him to play dumb, to act like the villain, to start drama on cue and smile for the cameras like a puppet. He said he was done playing that role, that he wasn't about to let anyone twist his life into a storyline just to make their next season trend. The comments started moving again, a blur of disbelief and fire. People saying they knew it, others accusing him of lying, some begging him to name names. He smirked and said, "You think you know the game, but you only see what they let you see." He lifted another phone toward the camera, scrolling through something the viewers couldn't quite see, and said, "Y'all want to see proof, right?" Before he could show anything, the live glitched, the picture froze, and the audio crackled. When it came back, he was laughing quietly to himself, shaking his head saying, "See, they don't even want me to talk." He leaned closer, his face filling the screen, and said this show was never about love or hip-hop. It was about who could be controlled. Right then, a verified account popped up in the comments with a message that said, "Be careful. What you say, Mendeecees? You know they're watching." The whole chat exploded with questions. Who was that? Was it someone from production? Was it a warning? He smiled without humor and said that's how deep it goes. Every time he started telling the truth, someone tried to pull the plug. He said he wasn't scared anymore, that if they wanted to play games, he could play too. Then his phone started buzzing again and he glanced down, muttering under his breath, "Now she'll want to call." The comments flooded with Yandi's name, people begging him to answer, chanting "let her in," until finally he looked up, sighed, and said, "Fine, let's do it." He hit accept and the screen split in two. The moment the screen split, the chat went wild. And for a second, it felt like the entire internet was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. Yandi appeared on the other side of the screen, her face tight and her voice calm but trembling as she said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Mendeecees gave a small laugh that didn't sound like amusement at all and said, "I already did. It's live and everybody's watching now." The silence that followed stretched out like a crack in the air before Yandi sighed and said, "You don't understand what you're walking into. This isn't the way to fix it." He leaned back, shaking his head, and said, "I tried fixing it their way, and look where that got me. You think I'm scared of them? I'm not." She looked down, then back up at the camera and said softly, "You weren't fired. Mendeecees, you were set up." The words hit like an explosion. The chat went into chaos, everyone typing at once, trying to figure out if they heard right. Some saying she was covering for herself. Others shouting that the truth was finally out. Mendeecees froze for a second, then leaned closer to the camera and said, "Then tell them who did it." Yandy's lips trembled, her eyes darting away for a moment before she whispered, "It wasn't me, but I know who it was." His face hardened, every trace of humor gone. His voice low and dangerous as he said, "Say it." But before she could, the feed stuttered, the video lagged, and then everything cut off. The screen went black. Comments flooded the chat window, but there was nothing to see. No video, no sound. Just thousands of confused viewers trying to make sense of what had just happened. On social media, clips of the live began spreading within minutes. Fans reposting fragments and screenshots, everyone claiming to know the real story. Some said Yandy's account got hacked. Others said the producers pulled the plug because she was about to say too much. By the time Mendeecees went silent for the rest of the night, theories were multiplying like wildfire. Was it a publicity stunt? A real leak? Something more dangerous? By morning, hashtags were trending, bloggers were dissecting every frame, and fans were already accusing the network of censorship. Meanwhile, in private, Yandy tried calling him over and over again, but he didn't answer. Inside his apartment, Mendeecees sat staring at his phone, watching his name climb the trending list and reading the headlines that now painted him as a reckless troublemaker spiraling out of control. He rubbed his face with both hands, muttering that he had told the truth and now the whole world was twisting it. When his phone buzzed again, it wasn't Yandy this time, but an unknown number sending a single text that read, "Stop talking before you regret it." He stared at the message for a long moment before locking the screen and whispering, "Too late for that." The next evening, the world was still buzzing from what had happened, and every gossip blog, podcast, and live stream was trying to piece together the truth behind the blackout. Mendeecees had said nothing publicly since the stream vanished. But people close to him whispered that he was preparing something even bigger. Inside his apartment, the lights were off except for the faint glow from his phone. Hundreds of notifications blinking non-stop. He scrolled through them slowly, reading comments accusing him of lying, others calling him brave for finally speaking up. He paused when he saw a video clip of Yandy on another live, her face tired, saying she wished things hadn't gone that far. It made him tighten his jaw because he knew she was scared, but he also knew there was no going back now. That night, he started another live, his voice low and steady as he said, "Since they want to play with my name, let's talk facts." Within seconds, tens of thousands joined. He spoke about contracts that changed overnight, pay that disappeared, scenes re-edited to make people look like monsters, and private conversations twisted into storylines. He said he had seen cast members pushed into fake relationships, arguments reshot 3 times until the producers got the drama they wanted, and people losing their jobs for refusing to fake it. He said it wasn't just a show, it was a system built on manipulation. The comments blew up again, some saying he was exposing the machine, others warning that he was going too far. Then he said something that made even the boldest viewers pause. He said, "If anything happens to me, remember this moment." The line hung heavy in the air. His eyes darted off screen for a second like he heard something outside. Then he looked back at the camera and said, "They're not going to stop me." Yandy was watching from home, pacing, whispering, "No, no, don't do this." Meanwhile, the network offices were in full crisis mode. Executives on calls with lawyers, trying to figure out if they could sue him for defamation or if suing would only make him more believable. Then suddenly, the screen on his live flickered again. The comments froze and viewers started shouting that it was happening again. For a moment, the image returned. Mendeecees still there, breathing hard, whispering, "See, they can't hide it forever." Then the stream went black for good. Phones everywhere began lighting up with alerts saying the live had ended unexpectedly. Within an hour, headlines started appearing claiming the account was suspended for violations. others saying he had deleted it himself, and a few insisting his phone had been taken. No one knew what was true. But one thing was clear. The war between Mendeecees and the machine had just begun. And the truth, whatever it really was, had escaped into the world where no one could silence it again. What you just heard is only the beginning. And if this story taught us anything, it's that truth doesn't stay buried for long. The question now is, who's really pulling the strings? And how deep does this go? Was Mendeecees exposing the system or playing his own game? You decide. Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us what you believe really happened behind that sudden blackout. If you think the network is hiding something, let us know. And if you think this was all a stunt, we want to hear that too. Don't forget to hit like if you made it this far. Subscribe if you live for stories the media won't touch, and turn on those notifications so you never miss what drops next. This is BuzzVault, where secrets don't sleep, lies don't last, and we always dig deeper. Stay tuned, because the vault never closes.